Am I the asshole? Can we not do controversial anymore? Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend I own the building we live in? Yo, what? Am I the asshole for refusing to adhere to my sister-in-law's Christmas gift list? Am I the asshole for letting my 16-year-old daughter drink a glass of wine? Yeah? The fuck? When I was 18, my dad gifted me a house with 2 stories. I am extremely thankful. We are not super upper class, but my dad bought a house for cheap price a long time ago. It was his grandmother's. So this is all of them? Okay. I think we might just do clip queue. I don't know if this is actually interesting, to be honest. Let's go top of this year. What's the most controversial? Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she can't go to her dream school but paying for my son to go to his? Yo, what? Her mother and I are divorced. I have full custody. 2 kids, 123, 117. Jake got into his dream school but didn't get any scholarships. His undergrad school is one of the best schools in our part of the country, and it's expensive. I didn't want him to take out loans and have to carry a debt, so I'm paying for his tuition and living expenses. $50,000 a year. He's following in our family tradition, pursuing a career in dentistry. Okay. I'm not a dentist, but we have about a dozen dentists in. What the fuck? Why are they all dentists? Are these my family? Are they just obsessed with mouths? Was I like swamped at birth? Was this what I was supposed to do? I will also be paying for his dentistry degree. Jesus Christ. Okay, so you're floating this dude. Okay, Nikki is a senior in high school. Like her brother, she's a good student, has a good chance of getting into her dream school, but she's a low chance of getting any scholarships. Okay, he didn't get any scholarships. Her dream school is also a very good one, located in the middle of a very expensive city. Tuition and living expenses will be roughly $75. The problem is she's dreamt of being a teacher since she was little and has made it clear to be an education major because she wants to be a middle school teacher. Oh. I mean, yeah, you can literally go to community college and, like, fake a degree with crayon and they'll still accept you as a teacher. This is true. The other problem is the salary for middle school teacher in our area is 48 to 60. What a fucking crime. God, of course you're not going to get enthusiastic, inspired people fucking teaching when you offer them dog shit wages. Like, this is so shit. I fully realize she can make the move and work elsewhere, but I can't imagine there are many middle school teachers in the U.S. making 6 figures. I don't view paying $30,000 plus for a career that tops out at $60,000 as a wise investment. I told my daughter that the state school that's 2 hours away have a good education program and in-state tuition living expense will be $20,000 a year. I view paying $80,000 as a... I mean, you know, when you think about it, this is really tough, okay? Because this idea of paying for this dude when his ambitions require him to go to a good school so that he has a competitive point of entry into a solid dentistry program, it's like he has to do more after the fact. It kind of makes sense to be like, he needs this to pursue the job he wants to pursue. And based on what you need, I mean, I don't know. It's like, let's say that you bought your son a like $60,000 overlanding vehicle because he wants to go to a school that is on a fucking outdoor trail that costs, that you need that kind of car to get to. This is a weird hypothetical, right? And then your daughter wants the same thing to go to the school down the street. Do you know what I mean? It's like she doesn't require that in the same way. And so now she's just paying for experience as opposed to it being a requirement for their ambition. Do you know what I mean? I think this is not the asshole so far. As much as it sucks. I told my daughter that the state school that's 2 hours away is a good program. Okay. I've tried discussing the matter with Nikki, but she gets distraught every time I brought it up. She cries and accuses me of favoring Jake and being a sexist. Well, I mean, he should make it clear that she's not as valuable because she's a woman. I feel like he's got to do that, right? I told her if she picks a major with $100,000 starting salary, I'll gladly pay for her to go to her dream school, but there's no way I'm paying $300,000 for her to be a teacher. As much as I hate that, I don't see that as invalid, dude. Now she's got family members involved. Some are staying out of it. Some agree with me. Some are telling me not to play favorites. That's just an insane amount of money to, like, look, you can blame structurally what it means to be a teacher, but, like, if school is an investment into, without a scholarship, okay? Without a scholarship, school is an investment into a career. Do you know what I mean? It is, you have to think, will I make my money back? You know what I mean? With a scholarship, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Frankly, do anything. I mean it. Like, have fun. Major in, like, the classics. It doesn't matter. Just hone your critical thinking skills. You know what I mean? But if you have already a very clear ambition and you know you want to be a teacher, then no. It's not like they don't support her being a teacher, just not at that price. Yeah, it's unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's like you're fucking... Like, you know, it's like you're buying a race car to go to the grocery store as opposed to be on the racetrack. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that you don't deserve it, it's that you don't need it, you know? She should say she wants to be a college professor and then stop after undergrad. She should lie to her dad to get money from him. I mean, yeah, if she wants to get the money, she should do that. I don't think it's a sexism thing. I feel so terrible, so I'm beginning to doubt myself. Am I wrong? I thought I made it clear, apparently. I'm not limiting Nikki's education to $20,000 a year. I told her it's the max I'm willing to pay for her education degree. I'm more than happy to pay $75,000 if she picks a degree that will get a better return. Double-based. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. I actually say this to people all the time. If you're going to pay for school or take out loans, you should ensure that you're getting, return on investment. If you're able to get scholarships, study whatever the fuck you want and go crazy. I mean it. For a while, she thought about being a doctor and fell in love with England. I even offered to pay for her to go to Oxford. Fuck. She's adamant about being a middle school teacher. And dude, you know what I think's so dumb about this? You think they're going to turn you away to go teach middle school if you pursue a doctorate? Like, if you want to go there, just pick a different fucking major. You can major in literally fucking anything. If you want to sit in a room with a bunch of fucking hormonal 13-year-olds 8 hours a day, they will hire you. The bar is on the fucking floor. Like, that's why this is like, dude, this is so fucking dumb. You know? Like, it's so fucking dumb. It's literally on the floor, the bar. It's nonsensical to expect anything else. Actually fucking dumb. Pick math or bio. Literally study anything else and then be a middle school teacher. You know what I mean? But give yourself the credentials to pursue an advanced degree with a degree from an awesome school, you know what I mean, that enables you to pursue many other things in due time. Like, that's the way to go, dude. Why did I bring up family tradition? Am I an elitist? I just brought it up because getting into dental schools and graduating is tough. The reason why we have so many in our families is because we can help each other out. Dentists and oral surgeons. Yeah, so he knows he's going to get return on investment there. That makes sense. I just do a PhD in history or some fun shit. 100%. What good jobs are there now, though? STEM is flooded right now. Well, I mean, you could always be a World of Warcraft live streamer. You know what I mean? That's a really easy to get into profession, and it pays well. What school district is going to hire a middle school teacher with an Ivy League degree? All of them? What do you mean? Why would they not hire that? What? Maybe I don't know enough about school district hiring, but, like, it's not like she's going to get to be paid more than $60,000. But of course they'd hire her. What? Like, why would they hire an incredibly intelligent, overqualified individual? I don't know. STEM is flooded. If you have a math/hard science degree, I have unlimited jobs. I think that maybe for the jobs people yearn for, that's one thing. Schools back in the day required a master's degree, not a bachelor's in education is enough. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You can become a teacher. You can become a substitute teacher with with an associate's. I mean, like, you know, trades are popping off well right now, and degrees in biomed and computer engineering. Yeah, I think that biomed's awesome. Same with any trade is like, dude, you do a tangible thing with your hands. You work with people directly. I think it's awesome. Like, I think that a lot of people who pursue challenging degrees don't realize that the work they're going to be tasked with doing is anything but challenging. It's a lot of like clerical or like quasi-computational work for an actual, advanced designer. It all depends on your ambition, but like, having something that you do with your hands for people that you love and engaging your need for intellectual stimulus elsewhere, I think is just fine. If you're not playing Season of Discovery WoW on November 30th, you ain't getting bitches, boys. You're goddamn right. I'm planning on switching to education from bio. Why? Why not just become a teacher? Like, majoring in education just feels very strange. I think it makes sense if you want to be like a superintendent or have like say in how education evolves. But if you just want to be a teacher, major in what you like. You know what I mean? And if that's education, go for it. You're the asshole. This whole post reeks of favoritism. This is so stupid. I disagree with that, actually. Hasn't considered himself an AH asshole and is completely alien to me. What? I thought about this here. To be fair, you should at least pay for what you're paying for your son's education and let her take out a student loan for the rest. I kind of get that, but like, this is weird, dude. You're clearly favoring your son here. He's following family tradition. I don't think that really weighed in. I think it's literally just that they're going to literally fucking look. I just don't understand how this kid can't possibly fathom the position that the father's in. I don't know. You know? Like, I want to have empathy for it, but like, you're fully paying off for the child who will make enough to easily pay off loans in a great profession, shitting on your daughter who's wanting to be a teacher, which is an incredibly noble and needed in this country. But why is she majoring in education? Does she want to be a superintendent? Does she want to be in bureaucracy? Like, what does majoring in education do in that context? Do you know what I mean? I do think that this is a great point. He could easily pay off loans. You know what I mean? Much more easily than her, you know? And so if he required him to take out some loans and then downscaled what he's going to pay them to help stimulate her total, like if he took that, added 20 grand to the total, and then split it down the middle, that's probably the safe way. We also don't know how loaded OP might be. He might offer to send her to Oxford, and if he has that kind of money, he could probably afford both. If he can easily afford to do both, he should, personally. But that is the question. You know what I mean? Offering to pay for Oxford. Yeah, I think that personally, asking your parent to hemorrhage that amount of money for you to pursue a degree in education is really intense. Do you know what I mean? That's a really intense ask. $75,000 a year. That's a lot of money. No, they're in the U.S. I mean, if he pays for her to take an education program, what is he teach her his kids? I don't know, man. I get it. If he's got a lot of money, that's one thing. If he's literally like fucking pulling scraps together to make shit work, that's a problem. But him offering to pay that for a different degree if he can get return on investment, I don't know. It would help to know what he makes. You know what I mean? People who pursue dental careers in our family never fail because we don't allow them to fail. Last semester, my brother spent weeks tutoring our niece to prepare for the state board exam, and she passed in one try. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's like being a bit, let's say, he's being a bit of like an opportunist when it comes to something that isn't really his opportunity. You know what I mean? It's a tough one. Not the asshole. Former teacher. Nikki needs to face reality sooner rather than later. I'm also a teacher, and this is a resounding not the asshole. And teachers are like, don't fucking spend this money on this. You could go get a fucking community college degree and do the exact same work. Which, again, that's only if you're seeing it solely on return on investment. You know, if you're not... The daughter might change course, but OP's logic is sound. Exactly. I have an MBA from a state school. I believe I paid $50K total for it, but I was working at the time. It doesn't include room and board. Private schools were easily 3 times as much. Harvard MBA is a totally different story. The network alone is worth literal millions. Sure, yeah, I'd agree. Your network is really what you're paying for with college. I do think that's important. But if you're going into a profession where you can't really utilize it, I don't know. Looking at kids is very transactional. I don't know. But he did offer to pay for college at a cheaper place. This is tough. I don't know. I think it's kind of up in the air. Like, I do think that if you have the ability to pay for your daughter to go to a dream school and pursue her ambitions, and you have the ability to do so for your son, you should probably just standardize that. You know what I mean? But if it's something that you'd have a very difficult time doing, we don't know what his financial situation is. I wonder if he ever put that down. The career advice I've heard the most from my teachers was not to become a teacher. Most of them loathe it. Yeah, they don't get paid. Fucking dick. Huh. I wonder. This is so crazy. I don't understand why everyone's calling him the asshole here. There's zero reason she needs to spend 75 days K a year for 4 or 5 years to become a teacher. People are delusional. They get into massive debt to get a sociology degree, and they get depressed and they can't get a job. This is the thing. It's the debt that you need to avoid. Getting a sociology degree is actually incredibly valuable. It'll give you I think, an invaluable perspective on the world at large, the material realities people exist in, and how that then goes on to guide their beliefs, their ambitions, etc. But to get into an enormous amount of debt, I don't know. Did he respond in the comments? I'm not sure. I can't believe it's that low to see not the asshole. Yeah, this is also the thing. It's a matter of how much money he has, you know what I mean? I think he's just trying to be realistic on what he would pay if he was getting that degree, what he would see as being of value. But again, college isn't really about, look, if you are in dire straits financially, college is absolutely about return on investment. But if you're able to get full scholarship or go without there being financial strain, it really is just about connections and experience. That's it. You know, it's about expanding yourself. Did he ever mention taking out loans? No. I wonder if he ever posted comments. No comments. Holy shit. Degree advice? Wait, what? Don't worry, she'll just do what my mom did and lie. Just switch the major once she's there and you aren't around to go to class with her. Wait, what? I don't know, man. I'm not sure I'd say this guy's the asshole. I think he's right to have concern over how valued that degree is going to be. But at the same time, you know, if this dude's well off and he's willing to do this for someone because he thinks they're going to make more money, it's not as if the dude's actually going to get paid back. You know, it's not really an investment for him. It's just support. And that's, I guess, the important caveat here that I do think is valid. Like, it's one thing to consider, like, I have a limited amount of money to spend, and I think that, you know, I understand supporting this because him going to this school is essential to him having the job he wants, right? But it isn't for you, you know? And so that's the thing. Like, he needs to go to this good school so that he can have the credentials to then go to a dentist school, to go to, like, dentistry school thereafter, right? He didn't say anything about being able to afford both, though. Well, that's the thing. It's like we're operating under a lot of presumption. We have no idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? Asshole or not the asshole? 1 for asshole, 2 for not the asshole. He's a dentist? I don't think they said he's a dentist. I mean, it's not as if you're going to get paid back, you know? If it was a money issue, he would say he couldn't afford both, which is exactly where I'm kind of hung up on. Haraf made a good point with that, especially. The offering to do that elsewhere is putting it in a position where it's like, okay, well, if you could afford 75 grand a year to send her to, you know, Oxford for a specific degree, at this point, you're just kind of denigrating her ambition. So I kind of get it. The post making it out to be more of a witch child is worth more of my precious money, which is a really interesting caveat, right? Because it's not as if you're going to be paid back on that investment. So there is a sort of, I value this more, so I'm willing to pay it, and my value system is derived from the amount of money they'll be compensated. I could see that. When I'm thinking of it from the perspective of I have limited money, I can't afford to do this. If I do, I'd go into enormous debt or I'd have a financial crisis, then that's one thing, because then I can understand being like, okay, this person's ambition is to be a dentist. It requires more money, and because of that, I'll subsidize it, you know? What exactly is a senpai hentai, by the way? Uwu. Yeah, if he's not able to afford both, not the asshole, precisely. But if he is, and he's solely doing this because he dignifies his son's ambition more than his daughter's, I do think it's kind of stupid. Yeah, I'd say he's probably the asshole. As much as the initial mathematics would be not the asshole, because I agree, if you have like, okay, if you're like, I have 100 grand to spend between two kids a year on going to school, you know, if one requires the $75,000 a year to get the degree he needs to go to the dentistry school he needs to be a dentist, and one doesn't need similar subsidies to go and become a teacher, then, you know, I think the daughter should be the one who's also willing to say, I don't need that amount of subsidies. You know, I don't need that amount. I would prefer to see us both get what we want from life. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I think that this is probably someone who's very well off and able to afford both, personally. Your children aren't investments in that regard. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to give you money back. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I see it. That being said, if there's a finite amount of money, being like, I can't afford to spend this amount of money if I'm going to then have to support you after. Do you know what I mean? But here's the other thing that I would say. I would just encourage your fucking daughter to be a middle school teacher, but study something that gives her flexibility and then stimulate that anyway. You know what I mean? I'm kind of a similar situation with my parents, and they can't afford it. It destroyed a relationship. Call me a brat, etc. Yeah, I think that's obnoxious. Yeah, I'd say the asshole. The peace of mind is worth a lot, though. I'd rather invest that money and save it for when my daughter needs the money because she doesn't make enough. Yeah, but it's not like teachers aren't going to make enough. They're just not going to live a comfortable life, you know? Like, she won't be, like, out of a job ever or incapable of surviving. It's just going to be not very lavish. It's not going to involve a lot of comfort or support. You know what I mean? How much would you want to bet that if she tried to major in something else, he wouldn't take her seriously and be like, "See, you can't even make up your mind"? Maybe, but I don't want to speculate about it because, like, I feel like now we might just be like I could see dads doing that in general, but we just can't guess that that's the case. I think that that's a lot of like, I think fathers have a very well documented kind of collective history of invalidating their daughter's ambitions. So, like, yeah, I get it. But we don't exactly know. I just think that maybe there are, hold on, like some, suggestion of it. Let's see. Am I the asshole for saying to my boyfriend that the people around me tend to be high achievers in order to explain why our perspectives might be different? Uh-oh. I kind of want to see this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not even fucking there. God damn. 25 days, boys. Holy fuck. What are you talking about, Bieliki? Comment graveyard run. Not good. Am I the asshole for not allowing my half-daughter to spend Christmas with us? My ex-husband and I got divorced 7 years ago. We share custody of our 13-year-old daughter. He got married and has a 5-year-old daughter with his now wife. His daughter would spend time with my daughter regularly. They adore each other, but she doesn't come to my house and they rarely meet up there. Already the asshole. His wife has been diagnosed with cancer and has started treatment recently. The other day, he came to drop our daughter off and asked to speak with me. He talked about his wife's circumstances, then how his family won't be able to have a Christmas celebration this year. He said if it wasn't fair for his daughter, and I asked if I could include her in my family celebration. He pointed out how the girls will have a great time together bonding and making memories. But I said I was sorry, but my family's traditional Christmas celebration is a sacred thing. I do not feel comfortable. Asshole. She's the asshole. Total asshole. My father's first wife treated me like I was her nephew, essentially. Like I was welcome to everything. She loved the fuck out of me. I still get invited to Thanksgiving at her house routinely. This is just a total. You are punished. You are making someone else a conduit for your contempt of a man who has moved on from you. That's how I see this, and I think that it shouldn't be to the child's detriment. You know what I mean? This is actually horrid. This woman, the fact that they got not the asshole on the Am I the Asshole thread is fucking insane. Like, this is so dumb. That child doesn't know you or your extended family, only your daughter. This could be her last Christmas with her mom, and she wanted to take that away from her. This is what's so fucking stupid. No, this is so dumb. How are they ever going to be integrated? I think this is actually fucking moronic. I am so grateful for the fact that my father's first wife, the mother of my two oldest sisters, was so inclusive to me because it gave me a second kind of like home that was, always open to me in the event that I needed it, especially for holidays and extended family gatherings. I met everyone. I loved them as well. I am not related to her family, but if I was never welcomed into that, I never would have gone to love them. This is insane. I'm actually insane. I'm actually fucking amazed at how self-righteous people are in these comment threads. The fact that you could say not the asshole is insane. Nothing about this post implied that the father wanted to separate her from her mother. I don't get it. This is so weird. What? He asked me to stop and think about what's best for the kids here, suggested he take his daughter and spend Christmas with her grandparents. He said the parents and him are no contact and tried to cut the conversation short, but he stopped me and started going on about how cruel it was for me to decline to include his daughter who's already having a hard time adjusting. I agree. Her mom has cancer. I saw that he was beginning to cry, so I stepped back and said I no longer feel comfortable having this conversation. I asked him to leave, and he did, but still texted me asking me to agree to let his daughter come spend Christmas. He offered that he stays away if that'll make me feel less uncomfortable. I said no, and now he's calling me selfish and unfeeling. She is. Fuck this woman. This is the asshole. No moms for you, non-blood of mine. It's so you were making a child the target of your contempt for this dude. Fuck this woman. Actual squad W, dude. That's bullshit. Am I the asshole for telling my brother-in-law that his big brother act? That doesn't even sound interesting. Hold on. Am I the asshole for naming the cat who I rescued from the middle of the road speed bump and upsetting my stepdaughter? Probably. Let's see. I rescued a 9-week-old kitten from the middle of a busy street. After a trip to the vet assessment and chip scanning and thorough social media, we decided to keep him. And by we, I mean as my wife and stepdaughter 8 were out of town to see her family. I didn't go because 1, my mother-in-law is actually Satan, and 2, I couldn't get enough time off. Anyways, they approved of the adoption, said the name. I picked Speed Bump to be his name because he almost became a speed bump before I rescued him. However, upon hearing the name and why I picked it, my stepdaughter burst into tears and told me that was a horrible name. And oh, fucking come on. She wants to name him something different, and I'm considering surrendering the point, even though his pet license a microchip. I don't think it's that important. I don't know. It all depends. Do you care about the names and poor choice? Speedy's fine. I don't know. Like, what? I don't know. It's like, I guess I get, like, when you have a family cat, the kid probably wants to be a part of naming it, but, like, I named my new kitten Speed Bump, and I'm upset my daughter. I suggested Skid Mark as an alternative, and now my daughter won't speak to me. I can see that doing this pushes me into asshole territory. I'm sorry, man. How'd your 8-year-old stepdaughter burst into tears over this? I don't think he's the asshole, but, you know. It's a cat, man. It's not like you're ever going to see that thing. It's going to go outside and fucking kill bugs. You know? Like, I don't know. I'd say shut the fuck up about it. All right, guys. It's clip queue time. Let's